Yo, what it do, guys? Bobo and Anshul here.
Come at you with a brand new opening. Good job on that opening, Bobo.
Yeah, I figured you might dig that a little bit, man. I thought you might like that a little bit.
Hey, anytime we can crack in more ladies with my sexy face in the opening.
Hell, sexy. Yeah, so I told you we'll be changing things, tightening it up there. And so we got the BrassReel movie reviews on there. We got Anshul in the mix now. And of course, we got, we'll have different intros depending on who's on there. So I got one for me and Anshul, got one for me and Andrew. And then I got an individual one, but here recently, I don't think that I'm going to be using that a whole lot. It's just you and me.
Well, there's only one way to catch all those intros, people. And that's to hit that subscribe button down below.
And the like button.
And hit that notification bell so you can get notified whenever we do these.
Hell,
we want you to be joining us. We don't want any more bots. No more bots.
Yeah, which we're going to get porn bots today. I know we will. We get them every time. Every show we get porn bots. So
Derpy's here.
Derpy, what up? And my buddy Peter Alexander.
Yeah. What up, Peter Alexander? That's a very, very white name, Peter Alexander. It sounds like a Nordic Viking.
And if you were to meet him, dude, you'd be like, "Oh, what's up, white guy?" No, he's a good friend of mine, man. I've known him for a long time now. We've worked together and for a long time. And shout out to you, Pete. He's in the hospital, but he's getting out today. Nice. It was just some type of pneumonia he got. He's got some crappy lungs, so he got hospitalized for a little while.
Yo, as a former smoker, I know all about them crappy lungs, man.
Yeah, you deal with some stuff. You were saying that the last time we were walking around.
Yeah,
bugging you a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Well, hey, yeah. Anyways, thanks for joining, guys. So let's get started. Let's get into this, man. We got a few topics to be talking about today. Mainly some trailers, as you saw in the thumbnail.
Yeah, put up Derpy's comment. He just gave us a perfect title for it. The last one he just put up.
Oh yeah, Trailer Armageddon.
Yeah, Trailer Armageddon. Trailer Armageddon's up on
dude.
us. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, man. There are a lot of trailers that dropped, and then some that we have some interesting things to say about. So, Bobo, where do you think we should kick this off on?
Man, I say since because you reminded me of this morning, but this one is, I said let's talk about Last of Us for a second.
All right, The Last of Us. Let's do it.
Now, first, have you played this game?
No, but I heard all the hype, man. I kept hearing the hype that, first of all, I didn't play the game because I'm an old man now, and I suck at video games now. So, but yeah, I kept hearing the hype. Everybody's like, man, this should be a movie. This should be a movie. Now, we know, Bobo, how it usually goes when you make a video game into a movie.
I'd say 1% of all video game movie adaptations have worked. 1%.
Outside the first Mortal Kombat, which was surprisingly dope for that time period, I can't think of another good one, man.
I think that while the original Resident Evil movie was an enjoyable movie, it had nothing to do with the game. It was so off. What are y'all even doing? But I bet you there is one out there, and I'm just drawing a blank.
Mark Wahlberg did the Max Payne. You remember that? How bad was that?
No, terrible. Jeez. But they never turned out good. I really don't like Mortal Kombat. Like you said, was sort of the best one that actually felt like, oh, this is a movie of the game I like.
Yeah, not that new Mortal Kombat. That was whack.
It was, dude, they had every opportunity to make that an R-rated badass movie, and they just didn't do anything with it.
How are you going to have a movie about a fighting tournament and not have a tournament?
It's so stupid. And the fact that they called it Mortal Kombat, but they're including all these other characters. What I liked about Mortal Kombat, the first movie, is they just made the original characters from the first game in there. They may have included one or two more, but in this one, they tried to just throw all these things at you, and it felt like overkill. You got
Kano, listen, you've worked at a bar. Everybody was raving about Kano's performance. If you've ever been to a bar and met an Australian dude, Kano was every Australian dude that you will ever meet at a bar. The same sarcastic, overly sarcastic asshole dude. I love you, Aussies, man. I've dated an Aussie, wonderful people. But every time you meet an Aussie at a bar, it's Kano. And so every time I watch Kano, I just thought of every Aussie I ever met at a bar.
Sure. Okay? I have a friend of mine named Mika that specifically comes to mind. They're like, oh, yeah, that's Kano.
Yeah, exactly.
Derpy has something I'm going to pull up real quick. He just said, you haven't played the game. And I've played the game. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think Anshul has, but I've played the game.
Well, give us your thoughts on the game, Bobo.
I think that the original game was great, and I actually really enjoy the second game. The storyline in the second game is like epic. The story in both of them are epic. That's why they're making a
Now, I
show.
know the second game came under some fire because it was written by a feminist, correct? And so it divided some people along those lines.
Yeah, that stuff didn't it did to me. It wasn't enough on the surface and enough to like to feel like it was being shoved in my face or anything. I mean, yeah, it was there, but the gameplay is different in the second one too, and that some people don't like. To that's a part of the gripes as well, is that the gameplay got a little bit complicated, and they kind of tried to put it off into two different things. But overall, I can totally understand why they're making this into a show because the story is badass.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? This is gonna be a series, and it's gonna be on HBO. And it's not, I'm not gonna say HBO's never done us wrong, but they very rarely do us wrong. I can't think of a show that didn't hit on HBO. I know there's some out there, but they're not coming to
It,
mind.
yeah, and if they don't hit, HBO is quick to cut it and hide it.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like they're like, let's just move with the good stuff. But you're right, they make really quality material. They were the first ones to do it as far as the TV shows.
Hmm.
Before them, people didn't understand what good TV could be.
Yeah, was it Dream On was one of them?
Dude, I loved Dream On with
Yeah.
flashbacks of the old. That was Family Guy before Family Guy.
Oh yeah, totes, totes. And I remember being all into our list. Now looking back, that show kind of sucks. But at the time, it was trend. It was groundbreaking, man. It was
And
groundbreaking. It was good stuff.
because it was so adult, but it was a show. So
Yeah.
you were only used to seeing adult things in movies, but now it's like, oh, this ongoing show with Dream On too, which by the way is not on HBO Max. I don't get that.
Really?
Yeah, Dream On is not on HBO. I've looked
Yeah,
for it,
the reviews of it aren't kind. I went back and looked at some of the reviews on it. They were pretty mixed.
but it was so groundbreaking for the time. I'm sure if you go back and watch any show from that time, it's probably not all of that great.
Yeah, sometimes you don't even have to go back to that time. Sometimes you can go back just a few years,
Yeah,
right?
last year. You're right though. That show was badass. I love that show.
Yeah, but going back to Last of Us, of course, all we got some big names attached, namely Pedro Pascal. You know,
Yeah, and I can let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna try to work with this real fast. Let me because I was gonna pull the cast up and I think I have it available right here. I do.
little on the fly directing going on by Bobo here.
Yeah. So Pedro Pascal, I think, is a badass.
Yeah,
I think he's great. Like, there's nothing in him that I've seen. He's the only thing that was even worth watching about Wonder Woman.
oh my
Two.
god, such a bad movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. He was great. I mean, I didn't love the direction they took his character, but performance wise, there was nothing to complain about.
Hang on a second. I just realized now I shared the wrong thing. So
Yeah, you were some Google images right there.
yeah, okay. Hang on. I got this. I'm gonna get better at this, but I gotta practice. I gotta do it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go.
You want to make our cameras a little tighter?
Here we go. It's gonna be better now. Here we go. So now we got The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
So this Bella Ramsey girl, this is why I wanted to pull up because I couldn't find her name. So she was played by, can I say Ellen Page? Because it was Ellen Page then, or do I have to say, is it Elliot?
It wasn't Ellen Page though. That's the controversy is they made the character look like Ellen Page, but it wasn't Ellen Page, and Ellen Page was not happy about that.
Oh man, I always thought it was because it
No,
looked identical to her or him.
no, that she was not happy about that. She was pissed. It
Oh,
was
so you
not
know
Ellen
about
Page.
this
Yeah,
then?
yeah.
All right. Well, that's news to me. Thanks for clearing that up because
Ellen Page, who now goes by Elliot Page.
yes, Elliot
So,
Page is what he is. But dude, I mean, so look, I've got a picture of it actually right here. Let me just see.
Derpy knows the actress. He just put it up there. It was Ashley Johnson.
Ashley Johnson is the girl in the game.
Yeah, according
And
to Derpy.
wow, that's crazy because it does.
So she's right here. She's in the cast here. Is that the same girl?
So Bella Ramsey is Ellie in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see an Ashley John. Oh, that Ashley Johnson.
Right there, yeah.
Oh, maybe it was, but I wonder if she's playing somebody else because she's too old now. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Wow, that's interesting. So this Murray Bartlett guy right here,
Mhm.
he was in the
She'll be
White
playing
Lotus.
Ellie's mother, according to Derpy in the show.
Okay, there we go. Nick Offerman, I like him. He's actually getting a lot of serious roles lately.
Mhm.
Not Gabriel Luna. That's the guy who played the T1 or the evil Terminator in the last
Yeah,
Terminator movie.
yeah. He's
Yeah,
also Ghost Rider in Agents of Shield.
You're right. It was him. Holy
Mhm.
crap! And that was the good Ghost Rider in that show. That was one of the
Yeah,
few good things about that. So, all right. Well, anyways, I was just wanting to look at that cast real fast, and I mean, it's a solid cast. I think
yeah.
that all looks like it can work. I mean, like I said, Pedro's good. I don't really know the Bella Ramsey girl, but I like everybody else. So I guess we'll see, man. I
Yeah,
think
the trailer gave me shades of season 1 of The Walking Dead. Now, I'm one of the few people that I was out before season 2 even ended. I know a lot of people stuck with it, but to me, it became too network TV-ish. I just didn't like anything after season 1. Season 1 to me really focused on the themes of a post-apocalyptic world, the isolationism, the loneliness, right? The just complete destruction of
the
society.
zombies were secondary.
Yes, and that's Frank Darabont. That's what he does, man. He's a phenomenal director, right? And after season 1, it loses that focus and turns more into this epic TV you know, made to drive viewership from episode to episode. That's fine. A lot of people like that. I just wasn't into it after the greatness of season 1. This has a lot more of the feel of kind of combining a good mix of both things. What was good
Well,
about season 1 after?
also with HBO, with the exception of shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm, because that's a whole different style of a show. It's based on improv.
Mhm.
So you can kind of keep going with that depending on what funny person you have there. But with something like The Last of Us and with most HBO shows, they don't go on forever. They know that it just needs to end at a certain time. They're not trying to push 10,
Yeah.
11, 12 season shows.
Yeah.
So at least we know that they're going to wrap up a tight package. I mean,
Sometimes they end them a little too quickly. Game
Game
of
of Thrones.
Thrones.
God, yeah, we were both on the same page with that one. Uh, so look, Last of Us, I think it's definitely got promise because HBO takes stuff seriously. And honestly, Pedro Pascal is one of the big things that's selling me on it.
For
If I can just
show.
be straight up
For
honest.
show. Well, when we're talking about casts and shows, we got another show that's ending that's got some ties to this channel. At least it's the type of stuff we like to look about. Flash season 9 is going to be the final season. Yo, Bobo, did you ever watch The Flash on CW?
I've tried. Because I'm a nerd, so of
Yeah,
course I'm going to pay attention.
I enjoyed season 1. I really like season
Yeah,
1.
I didn't even try it season 1. I got in later on, and I can't take the way it feels, man. The vibe of it is just
So cheesy.
it's so cheesy and soap opera feeling. Like it
Yeah.
feels so cheap that I just can't buy it. At least Smallville, they tried to make you feel like you were on a farm.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
CW is consistent with having some of the worst writers out there, right? It's all teen drama writers. And here's the thing though. That might be who their target audience is. So you got to write for your target audience. So I don't know CW's demographics. I never worked in the front office.
Teens are smarter though. I don't think you need to treat. I mean, yes, of course, there's that emo moment of your life when you're going through teenage years. You have that emotional, I'm going through adolescence of the world. I'm against it. My parents, I hate them, all that kind of stuff. Yes, of course, you go through that and with relationships of first times. But I don't think, it's kind of like when you watch the Scream movies. It's like no teenagers talk like that.
Yeah.
Like make it real, and like teenagers are smart and they enjoy good material, but I don't think that they want soap opera teenage drama. Maybe they do. I don't know. I didn't want that when I was a teenager.
No, I'm getting called out by Derpy in the comments though, because I gave my reaction to the trailer. I didn't give you a chance to give you your reaction. So, what was your reaction to the Last of Us trailer, real quick?
Oh, I think it looks good. No, that's what I mean. I think I gave my reaction. I think that it has promise. I think what's selling me on it is Pedro Pascal, and I do honestly every HBO trailer I see looks good. Like
Yeah,
they don't.
it looked epic.
I'm always interested.
In fact, I will say this: out of the trailers we're going to talk about today, to me, that was the trailer that looked the best. It showed us the most, and it looked the best.
That look. Well, first off, it's not a used up IP yet. So you're going to have this introduction to this version of a dystopian world. and I'm just excited to see their take on it. We'll see how well it's done. But again, HBO does such a good job with stuff that I think they understand what they need to do to make something strong.
The one thing I worry about the show and its ability to get a viewership is The Walking Dead. Is the fact that we've got Train to Busan and all these other zombie properties.
I guarantee you, because, and again, once you've played this game, what's great about this game is that when you're playing it, there are moments where you will forget that you're in that situation because it's so emotionally driven.
Now, will it stay close to the game though, or will it take liberties?
Right, we'll see.
We'll
HBO
see.
does both. They'll start off playing in the book, and then they'll drift away and do their own thing later on. So.
Yeah. So to wrap up The Flash, to go back to The Flash and wrap that up, man, I enjoyed season 1, but season 1 had that great twist of the mentor is actually the villain, and then they did that for season 2, season 3, and I think like season 6. And by the time season 6 wrapped around, I was completely done with that entire CW. Listen, it was great when it started. It broke new ground. It gave us true superhero TV. But once you got past all the outer wrappings, the wrapping paper, the gift paper, and you had to actually go down and examine the gift. Little holiday themed analogy for you,
dude. Okay, so what was your Arrow reaction to the first Arrow?
I like the first Arrow season because it was a little bit darker.
Yeah, and to me, it was just like, why couldn't you guys keep it in this direction? Because if you look at Arrow season 1 and bring that all the way when they're doing like Crisis on Infinite Earth or Infinite Crisis, whatever they called it on their CW. Dude, it is so cheap. It's like it's not even the same show. It's still
what they lost me. This is my tryout for geeks and gamers. Okay, a little rant on being woke, because I think that's when they started losing me was with Felicity. They had to make her a bigger part of the program, and I got nothing against the actress or even.
Kerry Russell's fine. Yeah, no.
So there's spoilers for those of you who ever want to watch this god awful show. There is a couple of episodes where Oliver meets an ex-girlfriend and finds out that she had his child. He thought she was pregnant. He thought she had gotten rid of the baby, but it turns out his mom paid her to go away and told her, "You can have the baby. We'll give you a ton of money. You just go away." So he finds out this girl has a daughter. But at this point in the show, his mom's been murdered, and he's in a bunch of drama. Not to mention he's actually Arrow, which this ex doesn't know, but she just knows. Hey, listen, you seem to always be in a world of shit. So yeah, this is your son, but if you want anything to do with him, you can't let anybody know this is your son. I don't care who they are. And he's like, "Well, I'm dating this girl Felicity. Can't I let her know?" And she says, "No." Okay. When Felicity finds out, he has to apologize, and he turns to the bad guy, and he's always trying to apologize for that. And that's when, to me, the show kind of lost me, because it was like, that's when I knew that they were going after these themes of being anti-male, anti-toxic male, right?
Jumping on the bandwagon of that.
Right. It was because that was a big movement at the time, is male toxicity.
Everybody was doing it.
And so they wanted to really kind of make it a point that, hey, Oliver's trying to not be toxic. Dude, you're a guy who jumps from rooftop to rooftop and beats up bad guys. Listen, call it male, being a toxic male, but it is what it is, right?
He says nobody cares about the Clearance Flash show. I agree. Yeah, but it's funny. It had a fan base, dude. I mean, it actually did.
I'll be interested to see how they ended, or I'll read about how they ended. I won't watch it.
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of CW in general it was written for that. It was written for kids who are on Twitter that are virtue signals. That's what they wanted to kind of trend. And that's when you start losing, as a writer, when you start losing the theme about what you're writing about, you're just writing it for reaction. You're not going to write good TV.
And what happened because of that, just like Derpy said, nobody cares about that cringe Flash show now.
Yep.
So, but look, the WB as a whole are slightly in trouble because from what I understand, they've been trying. Warner Brothers has been trying to get rid of them and sell them off, and nobody wants to buy them. Nobody wants to buy their versions of whatever DC characters they've created.
Yo, Bobo, let's buy the CW.
What?
We might be able to afford it. Derpy, you want in on this?
Yeah, we could bring it back to something good, I guess. We honestly could. It would just take some time.
We just stream our show on the CW from now on.
You think James Gunn thought about it for a second?
No, I don't think
so. You don't think that he was thinking about that playground? But he's thinking about HBO Max.
Yeah,
that's going to be his playground. So
he can't. Listen, this is a former Trump guy. He can't do anything on.
Which,
No.
by the way, I'll stand by Romeo and Juliet for sure.
You always bring that up.
Yeah.
Speaking of cringe, let's transition to the next minor points. We're getting into the main stuff. We're saving that for the end, folks. We're just kind of getting some quick hitters out of the way. We got another trailer in Trailer Mageddon. Mario, it's a me, Mario.
It's me, Mario.
Well, this one came back a little while back, and it got a lot of heat because Chris Pratt's playing the lead. He is not Italian, and
who cares?
Yeah.
I don't understand why people get mad about this. I mean, we have British people playing American people all the time. So what? I don't understand. Why are you upset?
Listen, I do have a minority brother, obviously, right? He's my little brother, who does have trouble getting roles because there's not a lot of variety in roles in Hollywood. So you'd like to see that. Like, listen, if you got a part for an Italian, it would be great. The problem is you also got to make money.
You got to sell the movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got to sell the movie. So if there was an Italian American who was box office, it would be great. As it is, this is a voiceover role, so who cares?
Hey, but I got news for everybody that's upset about this. This Italian character Mario, this whole world is, his brother Luigi, all this stuff, all created by a Japanese guy. So it's like, what are you talking about? Who cares? Yeah. It's a fictional fantasy character that just.
I'm not gonna lie though. I would like Mario voiced over by Al Pacino.
Dude, that would be. Hey, Luigi. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. And he comes up to Bowser. He's like, I don't care about Harry Truman or whoever you had come through this institution.
He's got a great ass.
Yeah. Scent of a Woman's still one of my favorite Al Pacino movies.
Oh, dude, that movie is a great film, man. That's what put Chris O'Donnell on the map.
Ooh-ha! That's why I hear. That's why I hear.
Warmed up.
Yeah.
Ooh-ha! Yeah. That's a great movie, which 100% holds up, by the way. If you haven't seen that in a while, it looks great. But yeah, look, Mario, I'm fine with Chris Pratt doing it because first off, he sounds fine. He sounds like Mario. So that's the main thing for me. Make it sound like Mario. Look, if they were going to try to put Chris Pratt as a real life version and try to make him all Italian up, okay, now maybe I can understand. Let's get an Italian looking guy.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's like everybody just shut up. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, it does because, like you said, they need to sell the movie.
Yeah. Well, Chris Pratt's about to be selling this stream because we're going to be talking about him a little bit later. But for the most part, Mario, I got no real thoughts on it. I'm probably not going to watch this movie, Bobo, unless you want to review it.
I'll watch it at home. I'm not going to watch it at the theater. I'm not really the only animated movies I'll go see in the theater are something like Into the Spider-Verse or like some Pixar films. I'll look at the trailer. I'll be like, damn, that looks pretty good. I'm going to see that.
Yo, Derpy just made a comment. Peach Skywalker. So I wonder if this is going to be a thing.
Oh, about Daisy?
Yeah, because listen, Peach is obviously not going to be the damsel in distress. And it does. The trailer does definitely set up like she's going to be the hero. But, I mean, who cares? Little kids might have issues with it, but I'm not going to care about this movie enough to get worked up.
Well, look, first off, I don't mind them focusing on, if we're talking about Mario, the whole thing is that she's in distress.
Mm-hmm.
So like just putting a bigger focus on that than they did in the game is fine because you want everybody to watch this. You don't want it to appeal to little boys. Because that was the thing back in the day when Mario first came out, when video games first came out. Let's just be honest. It was not a girl-driven thing. It was mostly little boys. There were some girls out there that enjoyed it, but most of the time, little boys were playing with their video games and little girls were playing with their Barbies and having tea sets and stuff like that. That at that age, that's just the way it was. Today, it's different. Today, you have a lot of girls playing video games.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you looks like we're gonna have to rescue Luigi, but once again, this is not something that I think, at least not on this channel, we're gonna die on this hill. Now, if we start getting a lot of money for going on that hill, like Geeks and Gamers, maybe we'll sell it too. Hey, it's a possibility, right? We gotta make a living. Sorry, guys.
Somehow or another.
But we don't have to do that yet. We're not getting paid, so we can be ourselves. So that's my 2 cents on that.
We aren't monetized, by the way, guys. So everything you do, commenting, everything you do, liking, everything you do, subscribing does help. So we just haven't really seen that cash flow yet.
Yeah. And listen, Derpy's he's letting us know how he feels about it, but why don't the rest of you let us know? Maybe you do maybe you do want to see a Peach video game here in the future instead of a Mario video game. Mario's got a lot of video games. Maybe we do need to give the shine to somebody else.
There are some badass video games too from Mario. I'm not gonna lie. Even still to this day, they're making good ones, but I don't have a Switch because everything else on it's for kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, hey, like let's switch. Do you want to jump to since we're talking about Bratsky?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I got a lot to say about this movie.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see what you're going to say about it.
The trailer was an interesting mix, right? It reminded me a little bit of the last trailer we had for an MCU movie. Well, I guess the last one would have been Black Panther, but it reminded me a little bit of.
Well, check it out. We got love from Peter. He's saying we'll be millionaires eventually.
Well, thank you, Peter. And if you want to contribute, go ahead. Actually, you're in the hospital, so if you want to get other people around you to contribute, we'll be happy. Yeah. So listen, it had a mix. First of all, I didn't see as much humor in this trailer. Did you?
No, this seems like there. But well, first off, I think Peter's. If I know you didn't like the holiday special, but Peter is a different Peter than he was in the first movie. He's arguably maybe a little more upset because he's actually lost more in life now.
Right. He's no longer considered a box office draw. Oh, we're talking. I'm talking about Chris Evans. We're talking about Peter. My bad. Yeah, listen, man. So I like the tone of the trailer because I like I've been saying over and over again on this stream. I think Marvel's been overdoing it with the humor. We need to peel back a little.
Sure. Oh yeah.
We need to have some real emotional resonance, and there were a lot of people screaming in the trailer. A lot of close-ups of people going, "No!"
Yeah, there was. Well, what I thought, that one, especially with the one you're talking about with Peter looking down. Well, Peter's just like, no, and that lights in his face. That's definitely, in-game type stuff. So there definitely is going to be some finality to this movie. You know what I mean?
How much do you think Gamora's going to be in this? Because wasn't she filming Avatar 35 at this time?
Well, yeah, I think from what I understand, it was filming it a lot of it. I think she was pretty much having to go back and forth. So to be honest, I think she's going to be in the movie, but I think also what they're going to be dealing with is her trying to find her place. That looks like there's some scenes of her where she's maybe alone. You know what I mean? So I think that
they got to have her and Peter together at the end, right?
That's what I was about to say. I think that they will have them ending up together, and it will be a happy ending for them too. But I wouldn't even be surprised, because they've talked about the Guardians of the Galaxy keeping on going on. I wouldn't be surprised if they switch characters in the Guardians of the Galaxy, keep a couple of them. But I wouldn't be surprised if Gamora and Peter peace out.
Yeah, listen, I was wondering if this is a farewell, James Gunn's farewell to MCU until he gets fired from being the head of DCEU, because that's a thing, right? That's a cycle of the DCEU.
Sure.
But is this just a farewell for him? It might be a farewell for Chris Pratt. It might be a farewell for Batista. Batista wants to be Hamlet or whatever he wants to do.
That's funny.
Gamora's got 85 avatars to go film. Mantis.
Literally, it's taken over her life just like everybody else.
Mantis, I don't know if she's got anything going on, but she might hang around. But
I can see, but the way that they were pushing her in the Christmas special, I can see her actually being almost not the new focus, but one of the main new focuses because of it being more of a female-driven deal.
And Swole Groot was trending on Twitter after the Christmas special, and we had more Swole. Is Vin Diesel playing Groot again?
I'm pretty sure he was. He was definitely him in the Christmas special. I mean, they said it at the bottom. Yeah, okay. And you can hear that's actually in the Christmas special. It's the first time that Vin Diesel or Groot sounded like Vin Diesel. He was just like, "I am Groot," and it's like that actually does. It sounds like they didn't modify that one. That sounded like Vin.
Groot's got to say family at some point.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious, right? Yeah, it'd be so dope.
Yeah,
Peter's saying he lost his love. We'll have to come to grips with it, and that's what I'm thinking too. But then it'll all come back around. So that's what I feel like. Yeah, and she is in the trailer a bunch, but I do think that there's going to be some separation. And if you look at things like this picture, right? Let me find it here. Where's she at? Where's she be, yo? So are they rescuing her from a situation she's gotten herself into? Are they going to have to convince her that, no, you belong with us? Is Peter going to follow her? Is they're going to die together? Who knows?
Yo, so the villain is the High Evolutionary, which, by the way, sounds like a badass name for a pot smoking MC.
Dude,
Um,
yes, that they'd be like, I am the High Evolutionary.
yes, we didn't get the Who's the Master opening, by the way. So this
We
is
did. Who's the master?
there you go. Yeah. So yeah, listen. By the way, we'll put the banner up so you can get the socials to kind
My
of.
fault. Yes, I got to get. I'm still getting used to doing that.
I was trying to just let him know on the download, but he called himself out. You know.
Oh no, yeah, it's
And
you can call me out all day long. I'm fine with it.
so yeah, listen. The bad guy's a high evolutionary, which is tied to Rocket's background, and we get a little bit of a scene where it looks like we're going to get the origin story of Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, no, that would be great. And what I love about Rocket Raccoon's character is that obviously there's torment inside of him, and he uses the humor to mask it. So to me, that's already a great character, and I'd love for them to. I'd love to see.
Is it a great character or is it me? Yeah.
Yeah,
You're using humor to mask my pain. I got you, Rocket. I'm right there with you, fam.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. You have people like Frank Castle who go and avenge his family when they get killed. If that were to happen to Anshul, he would just start making jokes.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, listen, this trailer looked promising. I think Derpy said all he saw was Adam Warlock.
Which that looks good. I mean, he looks cool in it with his gold paint.
Yeah.
But,
He also looks like he should be playing He-Man in the Masters of the Universe movie that's going to get filmed every other year that never gets filmed.
you know what's funny is and there's been some awesome concept artwork for that too. I don't know if you've seen some of the film concept artwork.
No, all we get is a shitty Kevin Smith cartoon.
Oh boy! Which, by the way, that's some news that we should have talked about. Is he's got a new movie coming out under his production company. He's not even directing it. It's a production company. Which I don't know if you ever saw anything that Wes Craven presented that he didn't direct, but his production company, where it's Wes Craven presents, all of those were terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, it can't be any worse than the actual Kevin Smith movie. So we'll just.
Boy, here we go. Bring it on. I love you, Kevin. I love you, Kevin.
He just wants a job, Kevin, and give him a job. He deserves one because he's better than you are. He has the power. Yeah, he definitely does. But yeah, so listen, it seems
it seems like it's going to be epic. As far as it's going to like some serious shit is going to happen.
Yeah, I like the music choice for this trailer, by the way.
I do too. James Gunn likes a lot of those deep cut oldies.
Well, he's been going up in decades. This is 90s, right? That song, which I can't remember the name of it for some reason, but it came out when I graduated high school in 97. Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a remix of that song, and the remake sounded pretty epic. So
yeah, and you got to remix songs like that to make it coincide with the theme of the trailer and everything. Hey, what do you think about these suits? This is another thing. Do you think it's going to be a time jump? Because another thing I thought about is that they're going to have to be explaining the blip. Gamora is going to have to be completely coming to grips with everything that happened with the blip because she still helped kill her father, even though he killed her. She's the past version of her that they went and brought back to the new fight helped kill Thanos. So are they going to be covering that? Is she going to be her and Nebula going to be cool at all?
Bobo, what have I told you about comic book properties? What is the one thing we must always have? Daddy issues.
Yes.
Of course they're going to cover it.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have a comic book movie without daddy issues, son.
At least not an MCU one.
Listen, what was the Mark Millar comic book property that came out on Netflix? The name I'm blanking on because it sucked. It was a series.
What was it? I don't even. I don't watch Netflix is like my least watched one.
I'm looking it up.
I mean, I do watch it, but yeah. So Peter wanted to talk about this too.
Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh, wait. Okay. So that one actually got mixed reviews, but they just canceled it.
Sucked. Yeah. It sucked. And
had Josh Duhamel.
Yeah, they canceled it because it sucked. Yeah, they're not going to get season one ends on a cliffhanger. I didn't even finish season one. I read the comic book way back in the day. The thing about Mark Millar properties is we're getting a little bit off track here, but it's fine. Who's the master? It's a podcast. We can do that.
Yeah, show enough.
Mark Millar is always very in your face with his comic endings as opposed to the films. For example, in Kick-Ass, okay? Nick Cage's character. In the movie, Nick Cage his wife was actually murdered by criminals, and he is actually training Hit Girl to get revenge. In the comic book, we find out that he's just a crazy person. That his wife is still alive. She's been wondering where her daughter is because her husband ran off with her, and the husband is just some super obsessed comic dork that's crazy and makes up the story in his mind about his wife getting murdered and trains his daughter to be an assassin. In the end of Kick-Ass, he gets with a girl in the movie. In the comic book, when he takes off his masks and he lets the popular girl know that, hey, the Kick-Ass, the superhero that you're in love with, is actually the nerd from school, she kicks him in the nuts and gets pissed off for lying to her because he's disgusting, right? There's always these major differences between the Mark Millar comics that are much more in your face and the actual properties that we get on TV or streaming or whatever. And that's the same with Jupiter's Legacy. The kid that ends up, spoiler, the son, murders his father at the end. In the comic book, he's an asshole from the beginning, so it doesn't really surprise you. In the Netflix show, he's just this super great kid that's just trying to make his dad proud. He's way too hard on him because his dad is just the perfect person. He just has these unrealistic expectations. Bubble, how dare a father have unrealistic expectations for his son? Obviously, you must murder your father if that's the case, and that's what ends up happening, right?
Like, my dad is pushing me to be better. Kill him.
Yeah. And he starts out, like I said at the beginning of the show, he is this almost perfect kid, just can't live up to his father's expectations. And so naturally, murder is the only possible solution. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I never watched that show, but yes, you're right. There's going to be daddy issues in this. That did answer the question.
Yeah, for sure.
Peter, my buddy Peter Alexander, he wanted to know about Nowhere, the purchase of Nowhere. And basically he's saying, is the collector dead?
We don't know.
How could they sell it? Well, was there a scene where we saw that the collector was getting killed?
Thanos, the last time we see the collector, it seems like he's a prisoner of Thanos, but then we find out that's all illusion from the reality gem. Now, we don't know. Did Thanos kill him? Did he escape? We have no idea what happened.
Yeah. But my thing is, what we're going to see is that obviously there has been a time shift, and there's been other things have been happening in the MCU since this movie. That's, we got to remember, the MCU is a huge cohesive thing. So like what happens in one movie can have an effect on something else, and they might just catch you up on that. So there might be like some sort of montage at the beginning, maybe with some, so this is what happened, and then so-and-so went to this, and James Gunn can do that in these movies because he doesn't break the fourth wall, but he could do that. You know what I mean? There could be an exposition scene that's like a montage in the beginning that helps you understand this is why they're here at this point in time now. Unfortunately, they can't make this. That's the trouble you get in when you're coinciding all these films. It's not like the comic books where you can have multiple people just writing them on and drawing them all at once. This is a studio that can only do so much at one time. So we can't have the whole idea of what's happened with Peter the entire time since Endgame. We're not going to get to see that. We know a little bit. He was with Thor for a minute.
Or we had a montage at the beginning of Thor.
Yeah.
Peter claims, if you want to put up his comment, that Thanos wiped away the collector. I don't know if we know that for sure. I don't know if we saw for sure if he killed the collector.
Well, we can look at it real fast. I mean, I can look this up real fast. Let's see. Did Thanos snap the collector? When Guardians reach Nowhere to get the reality stone from the collector before Thanos, they find Thanos threatening him and beating him up and stuff, but it turns out the collector isn't really there. It's all a ruse by Thanos using the reality stone to capture Gamora.
Yeah, so we don't know. We don't know if he may have actually killed the collector. They may have just, dapped each other up. The collector may have said peace. He may have escaped. We don't know.
It's open-ended, sort of like Loki.
He may have just been on the shitter. He's using the bathroom. He gets out. He's like, what happened? Yeah, what happened? What happened? Like,
that's hilarious. So let me ask you this. I think you and I have agreed that Volume 2 we both like. Some people dog on that one.
So, it's very mixed, but I loved it.
I liked it a lot. Are you expecting this one to at least be even keel with those first two, or you think it's going to be such a different tone that you're worried?
Listen, man, unfortunately, this last phase has not been good. And so the reason...
With the exception of Wakanda.
Yeah, with the exception of Wakanda and Spider-Man.
And,
Spider-Man.
and there's been moments and things
Right.
here, but yeah, as a whole, it's not been good.
So my expectations are low just because of that. How can they not be? With that being said, he's done a great job with Guardians. I didn't love the Christmas special, but it was a Christmas special. Who cares, right? So I'm gonna have high expectations, or I'm gonna say that I've got a positive outlook going in, and I'm gonna be ready to see it. And if it sucks, well, it's probably the last one he's gonna do anyway. So it is what it is,
Yeah,
right?
no, I wouldn't think that he would do a fourth one. I mean, has anybody done more than 3 movies in the MCU as a director?
Did the Russo brothers did more than 3, right?
Well, okay, that was a little bit of a different deal, in my opinion, because Infinity War and Endgame were sort of one big project, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of, I mean, yeah, so they did 4 movies, but even then, it wasn't like a trilogy type. Like, yeah, they didn't do the first Captain America. You know what I'm saying? Like, but James Gunn has started Guardians. No one else has touched it. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, both of us, I think we both are looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy, but you never want to overextend your welcome. Like with this next movie we're going to be talking about, the Transformers trailer that dropped.
you're not excited about this?
Bro, I am so done with Michael Bay's Transformers. Did you watch that last movie, The Last Night?
Yes. Well, first off, let me just back up. Yes, I did watch the last night, and it's more of a comedy than anything.
It
Like,
might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my
no,
life.
it's not good. It is not good. And Age of Ultron, Age of Extinction, the 4th one with Mark Wahlberg, the first one, that one is actually still okay, but the 5th one,
Well,
it was okay. I'll put it to you like this. The 4th one with Mark Wahlberg, of course, there are cliche moments that are kind of like, oh, shut up with the dialogue, but it's sort of like the equivalent of what Batman Forever was to the original 2 Batman. Like, it's still good. It's a little flashier in moments, but it still has a good story and it works out. But the 5th one is like Batman and Robin.
these
The
directors
Last Night.
love their visual filmmakers. So a little story about The Last Night. Cleasy, who you've seen on my channel, who's a master before I joined BrassReel, and you can catch it some of the socials on that banner. We I had to put back up the banner. So he drugged me to go watch this movie. And because I was like, listen, man, I don't want to go watch Last Night. I'm so out of these Michael Bay Transformers movies. They're all terrible. He's like, you don't know what's wrong with you. These are visual films. You have to see them in the theater. It's experience. And he sold me on it. I was like, yeah, you're right. What is wrong with me? Let's go watch.
See, if he would have been selling that for part 4, you would have been like, okay, you know what? Got done with it. It was like, that was pretty fun. That was cool. But part 5 is a travesty.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, before, I think we got maybe like 20 minutes in the movie, and Cleasy does not apologize, but he actually turned to me and he said, "I am sorry for taking."
Oh yes,
like
yes.
That's how bad this movie was, man.
With the robot butler. With Anthony Hopkins, robot.
Did you watch the Haley Steinfeld or
okay, so that one is good.
Yeah, I think Transformers look good. They look like the Transformers I watched.
Yeah, no. So from what I understand, and just hear me out. From what I understand, this is, I think it's doing one of 2 things. It's either picking up from the Haley Steinfeld one, which was technically a prequel to the other Transformers movies. They tell you that you can basically either take it as its own, but it does fit in because at the very end you realize, oh, that's how Bumblebee lost his voice. You see what's going on, and it is Peter Cullen playing Optimus Prime and all that shit. But they also make it seem like that this could be connected to like I can't tell if they're trying to connect this directly to Bumblebee or if they're trying to connect it to finishing off of what Last Night did. But this is connected. This isn't starting over.
Well, why could they not make the Transformers look like it did in Bumblebee?
No, well, so they are in this one. Have you not? Did you see the trailer?
No, it still looked like the Bayish Transformer, with the exception of the female Transformer. I want to say it was Alita 1, but I don't think it was. I think it was a female Transformer from the movie.
RC.
RC, thank you.
Yeah. No. Look at them. They're way clunkier. Look at like Bumblebee's shoulders and everything. Like, I think that the animal ones look like animal stuff. But for the most part, I mean, look at Optimus Prime. He's way more clunky.
Yeah.
You see the legs and everything. This is from Beast Wars or Rise of the Beast. So I'm pretty sure they're doing that animation like you like. I don't
No,
think.
it's not the same. I'm looking at it right now. It's not the
No,
same.
look, this is it. Look at Optimus. Look at
Yeah,
his
it's still not the
leg.
same. In the Haley Steinfeld one, she actually he had like the classic look. Like the midsection was red. You know, it looked like parts of a truck. If you can pull up that one, you'll see what I'm talking about. And Optimus Primal, never watched Beast Wars. I don't know about you. You're way younger than me, so you might not watch either one of these. Really.
Way younger. What are you talking about?
Aren't you like?
I graduated in '99.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you were way younger. But
No, I'm 41, dog.
I never got into Beast Wars, so this doesn't excite me at all either.
Let me just see real quick. I'm gonna try to pull this up.
Yeah, I mean,
first of all, from what it looks like to me, it looks like it's.
Can I just say this real quick? Having Michael Bay after Transformers 2 put a black gorilla in his movies makes me mad and uncomfortable because those Transformers he had in Transformers 2 that talked in, let's just say,
I call them the Tokyo Drift Twins.
Yeah, that was some of the most subliminal racist shit I've ever seen in a movie. Holy crap!
Oh, dude, it was terrible. Then that was one of the huge backlash things he got for that movie.
Yeah. So now I see this black gorilla on screen. I'm just a little uncomfortable. I don't even know if he's going to do anything remotely racist with it, but just with that background, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie to you, Bob.
Well, the black gorilla was in the cartoon for sure.
All right.
And it's being played by Ron Perlman. But Peter Cullen is still playing Optimus Prime, the voice of Optimus Prime. But both of them are Optimus Prime. But the gorilla is Optimus Primal.
Peter Cullen. God bless him.
He's still doing Optimus Prime. So that's why I'm saying
he's not a good actor.
He's
not a good actor, man. Those lines are delivered so poorly.
Roll out. Autobots. Yeah, he's funny. I'm trying to find Optimus Prime. Let me see. Yeah, sorry for all this dead air, guys. I just want to see. I mean, dude, it looks like the one. It looks like the same, dude. Like if you look at, like, Michael Bay's is not this. I'm pretty sure that what we're getting in this one is going to be.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now on the Transformers wiki, and yeah, it looks way better. The one for Bumblebee. I don't know if you can pull that up, Bobo.
Yeah, I can. It'd be tough for me to get in here right now.
I'm going to send you the link via private chat, so that way you can view it, and you can go ahead and put us back on screen if you want to. But yeah, it's definitely different, and that one looked way better. So, and listen, Michael Bay, to me, he was a product of his era. There was a time we all loved Michael Bay movies.
When they were awesome. Like The Rock is badass. I love Armageddon, even though it's just a ridiculous premise. I still love the movie. And he had more. Bad Boys 1 and 2 were great.
Bad Boys 1 I loved.
I liked The Island. I thought that one was good with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson. I honestly enjoyed it. So let me see this real quick. This is the Optimus Prime from Bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So like the only difference in that one and this one right here is that there's no red in the center. But it's still the clunky legs. It's still
look at the visor. The eyes are a little bit like the visor. There's a little bit less space between the eyes, which is much more accurate to the TV show, the comics. I just like the way this design looks way better. It looks way sleeker. It looks a lot better, man. I mean, I guess Michael Bay one you could say looks more realistic if you were going to actually transform into a truck.
Are you looking at the same picture I'm looking at right here? That's the cartoon helmet you're just talking about on Optimus Prime in the back there with his legs. And are you looking at the stream?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the red is missing from the center, but this is nothing close to what the Michael Bay, whatever complicated 35 million parts moving around. This is nothing like that. This is definitely way more toned down.
Listen, if the stream wants me to watch this movie, I'll watch this movie. But that's about as far as I'm going to go with it. Because
you don't have to. I think it's going to be good, man. I think that I say it's going to be good. I think it's going to be better than any of that the last night or whatever. Like that's, and look, Revenge of the Fallen, is that it? The second one, that one's bad too. The only Michael Bay ones that I think are actually that I would really recommend are 1 and 3. 1 and 3 actually have a lot of good stuff about them. They feel like Transformers that I grew up with.
And those fight scenes are so hard to follow.
No, look, the animation gets stupid. You're right. It all starts to look like, what are all these moving parts doing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them transforming constantly while they're fighting.
And the dialogue in the fight scenes is just painful.
Oh, dude, when he is like, I will come for you. And it's like, what, dude? That's not, I guess you're a robot, so maybe you talk like that. I don't know.
Cam3428 agrees with you, Bobby. He thinks I think Bobo is right. I think Bobby is right. You know what, Cam? You're a good person, so
You are a good person, Cam. Thank you.
I'm gonna say you're wrong. I'm gonna say you're wrong. Okay, Cam. Thank you for watching, though.
But I don't think that it's gonna. I think the studios know they need to get away from what Michael Bay had got him into. They definitely need to do that. But you know what studios are bad about sometimes is getting away from something that didn't work and somehow slowly but surely finding their way back to that.
What a segue, Bobo. What a segue. Let's go ahead and put up the graphic for the next and final trailer we'll be talking about. Indiana Jones and the Dial
of
Destiny.
Is that a good title?
Well, I mean, you could go with the Knob of Nostalgia.
That would be great, right?
Yeah.
But so like Temple of Doom, has just a beautiful ring to it. The Last Crusade, beautiful ring. Raiders of the Lost Ark, beautiful ring. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, not terrible, but not awesome. But Dial of Destiny just sounds like somebody was trying to come up with an Indiana Jones title.
Well, what's a mythical artifact they're going after? The dial, is it the Mesopotamian sundial? That's the first calendar. Is there going to be some secret attached to that?
But what was great about the Temple of Doom? You knew, Temple of Doom. They must be going to a temple that's filled with doom. The Last Crusade makes you think it's the last one, and it sounds awesome. And then when you watch the movie, you realize, Crusade. There's biblical stuff going on. So it even has more meaning. But Dial of Destiny, it's like I don't even know where to start with.
I think I know what they're after in the Dial of Destiny. I think they're going after one of those old corded phones. You know, from our childhood, where you used to have to actually turn the. Did your grandfather ever have one of those? We had
the rotary phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was too bad if you got into an emergency, man. You need to call 911. It's going to reset.
There was no 911 back then, Bob. Yeah. You could kind of dial 0 for the operator, though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that is true. The quickest one, right? Or was the 0 furthest away?
I think you had to go all the way around. But you actually got to talk to a live operator. So imagine that.
Oh, look, real quick. Peter says, sorry, base Transformers were trash. Most of it was. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I love Michael Bay's Transformers. I just think that 1 and 3 have good things about them. 4 is not as bad as people say it is, but 2 and 5 are not good, and I wouldn't recommend 4 to anyone.
Rate them for me on our rating system, which we haven't really introduced people.
1 is the best. 1 is the best.
Okay, what's the rating on it?
As far as our ratings, I'd say 1 is really decent.
Okay, so it's about a 6 or 7, somewhere around there for you?
Well, because our higher one is 8, 9, and 10, and that one's really fresh, right?
Real fresh, yeah.
Yeah, so really decent, I'd say for... No, I'm going to go real fresh for 1, but that's the only one that's real fresh. 3 is really decent. 4 is the one below really decent. And I'm sorry, I'm still having trouble remembering our rating systems. That's my fault. I sound like such a
mid. Mid would be the next one.
Mid, straight up. Real mid.
Just so you guys know, it's real REEL because we're the BrassReel movie reviews, right?
And I got graphics I'm going to be working with to throw this stuff up. But and then trash is 5 for sure. Now, Bumblebee, I'd say real fresh. So I wasn't including Bumblebee in there. We were just ranking the Michael Bay ones. Did you know Michael Bay still produced that one? Because I think he still had a contract with him. He was supposed to do a 6th one, but after the failure of 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but I don't think he has any production involved with this next one or any moving forward.
Well, I mean, whatever. I'm so gonna be out on this movie. And Indiana Jones, I can't lie to you. I'm out on that too.
I would have been out on it if Spielberg was directing it and Lucas was a part of it. But the fact that Spielberg is only producing it and James Mangold is directing it, I'm not gonna lie, that does have me interested. That does have me interested.
I mean, I'm not looking to watch some 95-year-old man swing across temples with a whip or whatever he's gonna do.
Look, he don't look good. I'm not gonna lie, dude. He looks pretty old. I mean, even
Yeah.
in the trailer, like
Aren't they supposed to de-age him or something for this movie?
they're doing a huge flashback. Now, what I like about this is that I think that Mads Mikkelsen is playing the German from the original movie that with the glasses that was the kind of the main villain that opened up the arc from part 1. So I think what it looks like to me is there, and I didn't have time to download pics from the trailer. I'll try to edit some of those in when I do our actual review cut from this. But it looks just like that original guy, you know. Vivant the Arc, you know, that guy. And
Yeah, Peter's got a good comment. Let's put that up.
Saying just proof of the money remake, just making well-known concept just for money.
But that's truth to it, though. I mean, listen, these producers, especially post 9/11, movie producing changed because producers needed to make money, and the DVDs went out when it went by the wayside. Right? DVDs used to be a way where you could bomb a movie and then still make your money back post release.
The only way people could watch it.
Right. Now you don't have that revenue stream anymore. So if you're a producer that's producing movies just for return on profit, ROI, right? As we like to say back in my old industry, then you're going to go with a safer property that you think can hit on that nostalgia factor in order to try to ensure yourself of the return on investment. With that being said, they're overdoing it. And anytime you overdo anything, you get that saturation, you get that law of diminishing returns in economic sense.
And then it has a negative effect on the entire property, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because then
anything else that comes after it, anything else that also goes after that same nostalgia bait, right? People are automatically going to have that sort of negative reaction to it. So
the best example in the world, dude, is The Matrix.
For sure.
The first Matrix is just like still to this day a beautiful just package. It's just everything about it fucking is badass. Second one, a lot of fun, but something was missing. The third one was like, what?
Yeah, the Merovingian.
What did it?
Yeah.
And then by the time the fourth one comes out, so it went from the first movie being like best thing I've ever seen. Second one comes out, it's like still pretty cool, but you know, it just didn't have that. Third one comes out, everybody's like, second two suck, but the first one's good. Now that the fourth one's a part of it, it's almost that the first movie is slightly getting overshadowed.
Yep. Agreed. Also, any of the other sequels that we've had that came 30 years too late, you know, Anchorman, you know, there's a whole host of them.
That one.
Yeah. Huh?
You're going to hate me. I like Anchorman too.
Whatevs, man. Whatevs.
I don't think it's as good as the first one. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it has the full-on magic the first one did, but I think there's some pretty clever things in that one, especially them creating the worldwide news network. I know what we need. Just tell people what they want to hear. Like that was great, you know.
But point being made, they've done a lot of sequels that were about 15 years too late. You know, I'm sure.
Zombieland.
Yeah, Clerks 2, soon to be Clerks 3.
Jeez, I think it's already done. It's already been out in the theaters. Now they're trying to sell it on networks.
Clerks 3.
Really? Yeah, I think it's already like coming.
How did we not review this for the channel?
Look, as much as I like a lot of old school Kevin Smith stuff, he was really losing me at Jay and Silent Bob reboot. That's where I was like, sorry, buddy. And Kevin, I love you. I grew up watching your stuff, but I want you to make more stuff like Red State. Make more of those movies, because Red State was like, they even have to stay on the cover, an unlikely movie by that guy Kevin Smith, because it's just not like it's not a comedy at all. It's extremely serious.
Yeah, so we're throwing around an idea for video essays here, tentatively titled Real Killers. Let us know what you think about that name. We're going to be getting some merch on that. But one of them needs to be that Kevin Smith is a con artist. He's a grifter, and he had you fooled in your youth. He is nothing he just latches on to whatever's popular and whatever's out there, and whatever the kids are notoriously easy to fool. Teenagers, all you got to do is make them think they're smart, Bobo, and they'll love you for it. And he knew that.
And maybe he got me. Maybe he got me. Maybe he did. But look, I'm sitting here telling you that he hasn't been releasing anything that I'm crazy about. It's just the earlier stuff from him.
Like, go
So
back and revisit his other stuff, and you'll realize that it all sucks. It's
no,
all BS.
Clerks, Mallrats,
It's all
Dogma.
fugazi.
I don't care for Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy's too dramatic for me, but I
That
do
was one of
love
my favorite films of all time until I rewatched it.
Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
Really? But what about Dogma? You don't like Dogma?
No. I loved it when it came out, and then I rewatched it. I'm like, this is just some more of his BS
Well,
trying to
this
pander
is
to a crowd.
so. Here you go. These guys.
Yo, Cirque Zero D, whatever it is. You go back and rewatch his movies. I'm guaranteeing you, you're going off past glory, my friend. Go, and then you know what? I'm looking at a homework assignment for you. I need you to read 2 comic books: Batman Winding Gyre and Batman
Oh, those are terrible.
Cacophony, which are probably
Those are
some of the
terrible.
worst writing you'll ever read in your life.
No, those are not. But Daredevil Visionaries, the Guardian Devil, that's good.
It's overrated, man.
I
Because
love
Brian Michael Bendis came after that and blew him out of the water.
No, you're not
with
wrong.
Daredevil.
Him and David Mack. Yeah, you're not wrong.
And
But hey, real quick, I wanted to get back to something. Peter said in the
it's
comments.
Cody Brown. That's Cody Brown that commented, by the way.
You.
What up, Cody?
I didn't know that was you, dog.
Blast from the past.
You.
The rest
Hell
of the
yeah.
like,
You should have made yourself vocal a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
like that we knew that was actually you. Hell yeah. But going back to Peter real quick, because he was asking about, is there supposed to be a lot of CG in Indy? Or of Indy. And yeah, they're doing a de-aging flashback. And we were talking about that with him and Mads Mikkelsen. I don't know if I knew Mads was going to be the villain of some point, but also Antonio Banderas is in this. Like, there's a bunch of people. So I'm not sure how much they're going to do of the de-aging, if it's going to be like a quarter of the movie or what. But I do know that as far as the movie itself, James Mangold has been very vocal about, or as far as new shots and everything like that, he's been very vocal about not leaning on CG. He doesn't like to do that. He wants to be that's part of what he likes about movies. And what was so cool about the original is,
but he used CG in Logan.
You have to use some CG. What I'm saying is to not depend on it.
Okay.
Not just to make it a CG fueled movie. Yeah, these days you have to use some of it because it's possible. But what I mean is that if you look like in this trailer, it looks like there's a lot of car scenes and stuff where they're really filming. Like, it looks like they've got another car with a camera in it and they're filming with these cars instead of it just like, look at that LED screen. Like Thor: Love and Thunder, I dare you to try to find a scene in that doesn't look CG driven.
That was actually filmed on an alien planet on location.
No, but I'm just talking about, you could, even when they're on the New Asgard fighting, so much of that looks like an LED screen. It just like, come on, guys, y'all are getting so lazy. Part of what worked about Willow is that some of those places looked like that they were on the mountains, So to me, that's a big deal. You have to sell it to me in the right way. But I'm looking forward to this because of the character. As far as I want it to be good. Do I think it's going to be good? It's just like I say about trailers. You either look at it and when it's done, you say, oh, I can't wait to see how badass that's going to be. Or you look at it and you're like, I hope that's going to be good. And that's how I feel about this because of the last one and because of it being so old and he's so old. And it's just like, we need a 4th one? We definitely probably don't need a 5th one.
Yeah. Listen, at least the great thing is we win either way because we get to come on here, we get to trash the hell out of it, or we get to brag about it. And
right,
I'm leaning on the ladder. Yeah, I'm leaning on the ladder. I'm thinking it's going to be a bigger dumpster fire than a Kevin Smith movie, Cody. I'm just saying.
You saw Boyd Holbrook's in it, right? Did you see that? So James Mangold actually likes him because he was in Logan.
Yeah, and he was great in Logan.
Oh, he was good. Awesome. And I think he was in Ford versus Ferrari as well.
He was also good in Sandman.
Oh, look at this. Peter says he was never fooled. So Peter and you are coming buddies.
Yeah. Cody, give me the middle.
Got
Cody,
a lot of love
finger. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh,
listen,
man,
Cody,
the interaction with this time.
Listen, Cody, I remember how swole you were. So I'm not gonna have problems. I'm not gonna try to fight you over that middle finger, but I'd be knowing, just like Debo, just like Chris Rock be knowing about Debo. When you leave, I'd be talking again, okay?
My grandmama give me that shade.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, hey, listen, Trailer-mageddon, some interesting stuff. If we had to rank the trailers, all right, from best to Kevin Smith, where would you rank these trailers? How would you rank them?
As far as scale or in order?
In order.
Last of Us looks like it's going to be like the when I'm done with that, I'll be like, wow, that was really like, I think it's just going to be a quality quality filmmaking in general. I am higher hopes for Guardians than Indiana Jones. I'm putting Transformers is a question because I'm truly not sure the actual route they're going with the story. If they are trying to pick up from like part 5, then screw that. I'm not about that. If they're trying to pick up from Bumblebee, then I'm interested in that. So, but the Indiana Jones one, it's kind of equal with the Transformers. And it's like, of course I'm going to go see it, but I'm worried. I'm not worried about Volume 3 of Guardians so much. I feel like that we'll probably get a good movie out of that, and I think we're going to get greatness out of Last of Us.
Yeah, I think if I had to rate them, Last of Us 1, which is a surprise because honestly, like I said, I didn't play this game, so I wasn't when they announced it, I was like, whatever, I don't care. But that trailer really caught my interest. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I was skeptical because of how bad this last phase of Marvel has been, but it did its job. It got me interested. Great soundtrack. Then after that, I would have to say Indiana Jones, Super Mario, Transformers definitely gets the Kevin Smith crown.
Oh, well, I forgot to include Super Mario in there. Super Mario is at the end of my list just because I'm just not into animated stuff, really.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm not going to watch Super Mario, but I'm probably going to watch Transformers even less. Now, I mean, listen, for the stream, I'll watch it just because I will have a lot to complain. Yo, you guys like to see me complain? Check out that stream.
So what's happening is that there will be movies where Anshul's like going to be talking to me about let's go see this, and then there will be movies like Transformers where I'm like, hey, I got the tickets, you want to go?
Yeah, he's got to be very proactive in that one.
Yeah,
yeah, so, man.
I think that's all we got though for the day. Also, real quick, oh yeah, Andrew, what up, man? I don't think Indy's passing down the whip though. I don't think that's happening. You can't. I'm glad they didn't do that with Shia LaBeouf.
How old is Harrison Ford? He's as old as many minutes as we got on this thing. We got hour 6. He might be 106 years old. He got to pack on something.
And look, again, he's like, how can you use a 90-year-old Indiana?
Yeah.
And dude, he really is in his 80s. So
yeah, Harrison Ford he's almost as old as the state of Indiana in this movie.
Yeah. Heyo. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go see it, but it's one of those ones that I hope it's good. Whereas I have more confidence in Guardians, and I think that it's no doubt with Last of Us going to be good. I think Mario is probably going to be good too. It's for an animated movie.
Sure. You know? Sure.
So hey, that's it for the day, guys.
Yeah. So why don't you check us out at the places below on Instagram? You can hit us up at Shogun of Cinema. Twitter, same handle, Shogun of Cinema. Hit us up. We're always retweeting stuff. Patreon. We're on Patreon. We want some subscribers. We got a low tier going. We're just gonna be posting a little bit of stuff right now. It's just for your support, but eventually we'll start releasing merch and have other goodies for you, and we'll increase the tiers on the Patreon. But right now, you just be helping out the channel. We greatly appreciate any help we can get. Maybe help us up our game, get some better microphones, get some mixers, some better cameras to increase your viewing experience.
Try to make it 5% better every show.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be giving you some credits. You get some producer credits on the podcast and on the streams. So we really appreciate it. You can also hit us up on Facebook while it's still in business. Facebook.com/BrassReel. And then we got TikTok too, BrassReel. So get us on TikTok as well. Once again, we want to thank you guys for joining us. Hit that subscription button. Hit that notification button so you're not late like Andrew is on the stream, catching us at the very end. And yeah, until then.
You cold-blooded bastard.
When life gives you lemons, Bobo.
Oh, you got to make that hot, fresh popcorn. Oh, shit. Thanks for joining us, guys, for Who's the Master?
Peace out.